you and Kendrick, what's going on between both of y'all? I heard that you made a comment about how the game is a better rapper than Kendrick, and a lot of people got mad. Like, what happened?
Oh my goodness. All right, so we on my show, right? And people do the super chat or whatever. So somebody sends a super chat and they ask me, who do you think, um, I think they said, who do you think has done more for LA? Kendrick, the game or Kendrick? And they said, and who do you like better? Now they're asking me this question. The topic had nothing to do with this where we was on there. He just asked me this out of the blue. So off the cuff, I'm thinking, who's done more for LA? I don't know. I'm just going through my Rolodex. I'm thinking, well, Game's been around a little longer, right? I mean, I've heard of him maybe trying to intercede in some beefs and stuff like that. But again, I don't know. I'm not from LA like that. Um, so now I'm going by whose music do I like more? Um, for me, it's the game. So I say the game. The game was my answer. Suddenly, people flip it and bounce it that and I said, I'm sorry, I also said, I said, and I asked the question. I said, wasn't Kendrick like a nerd rapper that kind of turned into a gangster or something like that? Like just kind of asking the question because I'm telling you, I'm not as educated on Kendrick as everybody else is. Like, I think he's a good rapper. I think he raps good, but it's not necessarily my cup of tea. And I like West Coast rap, but again, y'all could call me an old head, whatever the you want to call me, but I just have a certain taste in my hip hop, right? And again, if I had to pick, for me, I'd rather hear um just the type of beats that the game chooses and his voice tone and the way he raps. Like I could just tell he studied my era, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, and I like that about him. That's it. Um, but yeah, I did say, and I did ask the question, you know, wasn't he kind of like a nerd rapper that, was kind of gangster? Because the way he raps was to me is kind of like nerdy. And I thought he was in a certain like lane or whatever. But then it seems lately, to me, it seems like in the videos I see more and more like almost, accepting like a gangster lifestyle. Now, yes, I understand that in LA, not everybody's a gangbanger, that people grow up, you know, amongst gangbangers, but they still are living a regular life. Like, I get it. Like, we do that type of shit in New York too. Like, not everybody is, affiliated with some shit. Some people are just regular dudes, but that don't mean they suckers or whatever the case may be. Um, so I guess me saying that, people now took it as, oh, what are you talking about? You need to shut the fuck up. You're from New York. You an old head from New York. You shouldn't even be talking about the West Coast. Keep Kendrick's name out your mouth. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, yo, like, relax. Like, it's not that serious. Nobody's trying to diss the man. And then I just see the headlines just keep changing as to what I said, and I was just like, wow, this is how snowballs into some other shit where it's like a game of telephone. It starts out with one thing, and then it ends up a whole another thing. Now people are saying that I'm saying that he's not part of LA culture and blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, y'all motherfuckers could really spin a story. And then everybody, felt it was their duty to go and make a live about it and discuss it and chastise me and wave their finger at me for some shit that I didn't even say. And it's like, I just got to the point where it was like, you know what? Go ahead, chastise me. You know, I'm not even going to reply to this. I know what I said, and it was nothing of what y'all turned it into. Um, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Everybody has their taste, everybody has their opinion. And again, I don't know why my opinion seems to upset people and put them in an uproar, but it does. So, you know, I just got to be aware of that and just deal with it. You know what I mean? It's just the curse. It's just the curse to be me.
So you believe the game he's a better rapper and he make better music?
Listen, for me, I like that style. I like the style of how he rap. I like his vocal tone. You know what I mean? I like his vocal register, you know. And, to keep it real, I never met Kendrick. I met the game one time and he was mad cool. You know what I mean? We was in a club. He was at the height of his shit. Everybody was in the club surrounding this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I seen him. I'm like, oh, there go the game over there. But I'm not one of these dudes that's gonna run over there. Surround. Everybody surrounded him. Why would I do that? But as he's being surrounded, he spots me, walks away from all these people, comes over to me and says, "Fat Joe," he says, "I know a legend when I see one," and gives me a pound. And I'm just like, wow. And I'm just thinking in my mind, now somebody taught that young man right. Somebody taught that young man right. Because he gave respect where respect was due. And it just made me just have an instant respect for him right back. You know what I mean? So now fast forward, when you ask me a question like this, and it was crazy because LA people was almost jumping out against Game. Oh, Jay Saw, he used to strip and all this type of shit. Listen, I don't, yeah, I heard all that shit, but that's not part of my equation of why I said that I liked his music better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I met it, actually, I forgot all about that shit. And still, that doesn't really matter to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and yes, he does make some negative music and shit like that. And I probably should technically like Kendrick's music better because it's probably more positive. You see what I'm saying? That's what some people are saying to me too. But you like what you like, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just as vocal registers go, I like Game's register. I like his beat selection too. You know what I mean? That's all, man. It ain't nothing against Kendrick, man. I fucks with Kendrick, but just not the same way y'all do. That's all.